It's a good nap. Alright, it's been a couple days. Might as well check how the videos do it. Wow, that's the best I've done in years. I think that's the best I've ever done. Congratulations, me. Those views are mine because I was there for a total of 1 minute and they all came from me. I mean, I doubt that. I mean, I bet more people went because of the fact that the Jakks Pacific figure is there and that it's new. Yeah, it's probably the big reason why it's blowing up. But, yeah. I was thinking maybe we'll take a look at the 4-inch line so far. No, alright. I'm just saying it's not going to get as much views as this. I'm, you know, who knows? Alright, now, yeet! I'll take care of this review. Hello, my name is Backup. I'll be your host for today, and today we're going to be reviewing all these Jakks Pacific Sonic products. No time to waste, so let's get right to it. That was so fucking cheesy even for me. Here's our main man, Sonic. He has 11 points of articulation in his arms, his legs, his knees, and ball-jointed shoes and hands, and with his head. And if you're asking how can he stand, let's see if he can actually, not well. Maybe it's because I'm doing this on a blanket. But yeah, Wave 1 has a problem of just not standing very well. No matter how much you try to pose them, they just don't want to stand up. It's kind of annoying, but at this point, the spoiler alert, you're gonna have to get used to this. There we go. So it's a really nice figure. It has nice sculpt. However, Wave 1 did have the most issues for me. Because look at his eye. It was like that when I got it. His ear is a little bent. I don't know if you can see that. And his joints are just really loose. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. And when you see these figures, you may notice there was something else that came with them. An accessory. A game accessory. This is the Star Spring. It's a nice Star Spring. It's well painted. The line here is not wide enough, but that's fine. And it doesn't spring much, but it works nice. Now you may notice, why is there a hole there? Well, let's just say they're not entirely for the 4-inch figures, but for another line of Sonic Jakks Pacific products that we'll get to in another video. This is Miles Tails per hour. He stands around 3.5 inches tall, meaning that he is a little smaller than Sonic, meaning they actually scale well with each other, unlike other toy lines like Toy Island and Jazzwares. And he has 12 points of articulation. My bad. He has the regular points of articulation, his arms, his hands, his legs, his knees, and his ball-jointed shoes. But the extra was his tails. As you can tell, that did not go well. It broke months ago. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. We have a better tails that we'll talk about later, but yeah, I don't know if it's kind of ruined it for me. Well, it is kind of my fault. I mean, I didn't really do much besides spin its tails, so I guess keep a warning out for that. And Tails' accessory for Wave 1 is this invincibility item box. It's nice. It's really simple. There's nothing you can do with it. And it's just like an image of invincibility. It is definitely not as cool as the Nendroid Sonic's item box. And kind of looks even classic. But I guess this is the new design. It's not as cool, but I guess it works. But enough about Foxboy. It's time for the ultimate life form, Shadow. Oh, that didn't go as planned. So what do we give the best figure in this wave? That. A 10 ring. You can barely see the 10. Well, you can see it, but it's barely there. Why give the coolest figure the lamest accessory? At least the invincibility had something to this. Not this. This is... Is he the walrus? Nuh-uh. He's the Eggman. And that's the last figure of Wave 1, Dr. Eggman. As you can tell already, he has something the other figures don't. Elbow articulation. Yeah. Even though it's kind of trash, I'm not gonna lie. It's sturdy and nice, but you can't really move it around. You can, but it's... I don't know, it just feels weird to move. Anyways, you can tell he has 13 points of articulation. His arms, his head, his elbows, his ball-jointed hands, his legs, his knee joints, and ball-jointed shoes. Even though those are boots. And if you kind of look at it this way, it kind of looks a little weird. I have to admit that does kind of look weird. The paint is spot on. I personally don't see any errors on mine. I have to admit this is kind of weird too, but I don't mind. It's almost perfect. I really do love this figure. The only really thing you can tell is that the bottom of his nose is not covered in pink. But that's fine. Who's gonna look under there anyway? And Dr. Eggman comes with spikes. I don't think we've ever gotten a Sonic toy with spikes included. So this is probably a first. From what I remember at the moment. I know someone's probably going to correct me in the comments. Yeah, it's really nice. It's not sharp, so it won't hurt anyone unless you poke it in their eye. Which I definitely don't recommend doing. And yeah, as you can tell, there's the hole for the other video. So that was the entirety of Wave 1. It's a good start, I have to admit. Sonic, Tails, Shadow, and Eggman are good choices for Wave 1. But I have to admit, the Sonic did kind of kill the wave for me. I mean, it's probably just because of mine, but everything just feels wrong. Like, his legs are loose, his eye, his ear, the paint in his ears, and how weirdly dirty he looked, even out of the package, even in package. Tails, well, it's kind of self-explanatory, even though it's more of my fault. Shadow, he's an amazing figure, an amazing sculpt, and clearly the best one in the wave. But he does kind of have loose joints, even if you couldn't see it there. And Dr. Eggman, being a good figure, I have to admit, it's a good figure and a good accessory. Just, I don't know. I prefer Shadow for sure. Anyways, on to... And here's Wave 2 Sonic. Yeah, you can definitely tell he's a little different. Look at Wave 1. Look at Wave 2. The biggest difference, of course, is his face. He has a stock standard smile and his stock standard face, as you can tell. And this one has bigger pupils, the white parts, I think, and a grin. Well, it's kind of open, if you can tell. Just zoom in, yeah. It looks like an open mouth, but I guess it's supposed to be a smirk, or a... I don't know how to say it, but he has his teeth showing, just like the adventure games, and his arms are switched. His closed and open hand have switched spots with each other, and his accessory is this snowboard. I think this is the design for one of the Sonic and Mario games, or Mario and Sonic, because this doesn't look like the one seen in the style guide, which is kind of disappointing, but you know what? I don't care. It's still a really nice accessory, and it's the only accessory that is meant for the 4-inch figure. So if we put Sonic there, hold on, just give me a minute. Put him there. Yeah, if you put Sonic there, he can be snowboarding for days. So he's definitely a lot better than Wave 1. And here's our first re-release of the wave, Tails. He has no changes besides Wave 1, except he is a lot better than Wave 1. Mine personally, because his joints are tight. That's really good. I don't want to move him too much, but they're tight, unlike wave ones, where I have to stick back one of these joints myself because it came out of the packaging. And of course the tails are still there, and his arms are a lot tighter too. You can barely move them too. Well, you can, but just have to force it, and that's good. That's good for a figure. And what is its accessory? It's literally the same thing, but with a shoe. So every re-release comes with a new accessory, but the tails only comes with shoes. Classic shoes. Again, it looks more classic than modern. I prefer the older Nendroid one, but hey, what are you gonna do? Still a nice figure, and a lot better than Wave 1 for me. Here's our new first figure in the wave, Knuckles. Yeah, I like him, but there's just a little bit of a problems. Like, I think the way this is positioned is kind of not great, because if you try to move his head, which is nearly impossible for Knuckles figures, that alone kind of makes it really hard. And yeah, and the tail, it's just a tail. His shoes and hands are nice and huge, as Knuckles is. Although, I'm not sure about this. As you can tell, it's supposed to be a smile, but it looks like he's opening his mouth. He's trying to be nice. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather just go back to the original Wave 1, where you just had his smile in red. It'll look weird, but it looks miles better than Mr. Open Mouth. Yeah, and his head is just a little tilted. I didn't do anything to it. It just came like that. That's how Jakks wanted it to be. You can tell his head is just weirdly tilted. Yeah, there's not much to say. It's a really good figure. There's just some minor problems with it. And what is this accessory? A green Chaos Emerald. No, not the Master Emerald. A green Chaos Emerald. How do you know it's not the Master Emerald? Well, first off, it's not huge. It's even too small for the 2.5-inch figure. But in a later wave, you'll see why this is a Chaos Emerald and not a Master Emerald. It's really nice, though. And here's the last figure of the wave, Metal Sonic. He's really nice, too. I have to admit, this is probably the best looking one in the wave. As you can tell, he's not metallic, but you can tell there's some like glossy paint over it to make it look metallic in a way. Weirdly painted here, but again, it's nice. It's even painted, you can tell, because unlike the Tomy figure, this is actually painted, even up there, unlike the Tomy figure. That was literally just blue. And here's his shoes. He also has elbow articulation. But, yeah, it's only limited to, like, one side. It's still a really nice figure. A lot of detail that you wouldn't expect usually from a Metal Sonic figure. But it's really nice. It's a really cool figure. I think he's personally my favorite one out of the wave. And his accessory is a trap spring. This is already the most fun one in the wave. So Wave 2 in general is a lot better than Wave 1. We have Sonic with personally in my opinion, a better face sculpt. And a new accessory that's actually for the 4-inch figures. Tails is a lot better than my Wave 1's Tails, so he's automatically a lot better. And while the accessory is lackluster, it is new, so it gives people a reason to rebuy it. Knuckles is a nice figure. A little bit of a problems with, his head and all that, but it's still a good figure nonetheless. With a green Chaos Emerald that does look nice. And Metal Sonic, obviously the best one in the wave, with most details being added. And his trap spring. So definitely a lot better than Wave 1. Alright, now let's move on to... Alright, who's the first figure in Wave 3? Oh, it's Mighty. Mighty the Armadillo. His first ever action figure. And I have to admit, it looks good. I don't know what else I can say. It's like he looks really good. His arms are really nice and they're definitely a lot how do you say the word? They're definitely a lot thicker than the other characters. And honestly, I think it's fun to mess around with his arms, considering I personally think that. He has open hand, and as you can tell, he's really good. I don't know what else to say, honestly. He's a really good figure, an amazing sculpt, and for Mighty's first action figure, Jakks Pacific did an amazing job with it. However, does he scale well with others? Let's just put Metal Sonic there. No, it's its own thing. The 4-inch figures of classic figures and modern, they're their own thing. Because these have a classic alternative, but it is not in this line. It is in a different line that is connected to the accessories. Speaking of the accessories, this is its item box. But that's not just the normal item box, it's the classic item box. It's really nice. You can even turn this around. If I can. It turns, promise me. I'm just not going to turn it because I'm doing this with one hand. So yeah, it's definitely I definitely recommend him for anyone who loves Mighty. And just in general, because this is the first Mighty figure. Who knows how it will be in a couple years. And now, next figure in Wave 3 is Super Sonic. He's an amazing figure, and personally, I think he's the best in this wave. Why? Well, for starters, his joints are really nice for mine. I know I've been told that it really depends on which figure you get, but mine was really good. Sorry about that. This is his hands. So Wave 1 Sonic's body, but yellow. But Wave 1 Sonic was pretty cool. But the big obvious difference is his big head. A different head sculpt to represent Super Sonic, with his spikes going up and his angry face. With his, you can even tell they even sculpted in the mouth. And honestly, this is honestly my favorite figure of the wave. Is he better than Mighty? Personally, I think so. But I know a lot of people are going to say Mighty's better. I've already argued this on Twitter, but that's fine. So, this is Super Sonic. And what does he come with? Came with the same accessory as Shadow, only with an outline. You're going to give every best figure in the wave the boring accessory? Besides metal? You're gonna give the most boring accessory to the coolest figures? Shame. Anyways, on to our first re-release. And who is it? Sonic. Surprised it took us this long. You'd think it would be in Wave 2, but it's not. He's Wave 3. And what do I think? For a lot of people, I bet they'll say either, I already have Wave 1, he's good and all that. But personally, I love this figure. A lot more than Wave 1. Let me explain why. Okay, so this is Wave 1 Sonic. As you can tell, there's not really much differences in terms of sculpt. They're almost the exact same figure. The eyes, I'll admit, are better on my Wave 1, but everything else, it fixes every problem I had with Wave 1. My figure, personally. Again, this might not apply to your figure, but it applies to mine, so I'll just count it in the review. As you can tell, again, back to this. That weird brown spot in his eye. And what does Wave 3 have? Nothing. Nice and clean. And he doesn't look so dirty. And let's see. Yeah. Look at his bent ear. And now look at his ear right there. It's literally great. Perfect. This is nothing now. Because this is the much better Wave 1 Sonic. And I love this figure, like I said. It's amazing. Again, this might only apply to me. because I had such a bad Wave 1 Sonic. But if you want another reason, here's his purple Chaos Emerald. Yes, purple Chaos Emerald, which is the exact same size of Knuckles' green Chaos Emerald. So, there you go. It's not the Master Emerald, it's a Chaos Emerald. And again, it's a really nice emerald. The color is really nice. And it's the second best emerald. We'll get to the best emerald in a couple minutes. So yeah, he's an amazing figure for me personally, but it could be just a standard re-release for anyone else. Now, if you thought me overpraising Wave 3 Sonic is weird or bad, let's look at Eggman. This is Wave 3 Eggman. Yeah, it's a standard re-release, but he's a worse re-release. Okay, let me show you. Look at this. What is this? What happened to his button? I think that's his button. Look at that. That's not right. That is not right. It's not great. This re-release kind of sucks. I'll have to admit. Look at that. What is happening here? Do you see all these paint errors and all that? Even the back, they overpainted. It's besides the paint errors, it's an okay re-release. I mean, it's Wave 1 Eggman. I mean, he already wasn't such a great figure. I guess I'll give its face this. It's better than Wave 1. That's really all I can say. It has a better face than Wave 1's. Here, let me just compare. This is Wave 3's. This is Wave 1. As you could already tell, the Wave 1 is already superior because of the jacket. As you can tell, this is Wave 3's. It's total trash. And this is Wave 1's. Perfect. As you can tell, yeah, that's really it. There's nothing much to say about a re-release. It's just a worse version of the original, which is surprising because Sonic was the best version. Alright, let's just talk about its accessory. A checkpoint. This is an all-new accessory. Doesn't come with any other figure for now. Unlike the others, this is the first re-release that has an all-new accessory. Unlike other waves, like Knuckles, comes with another Chaos Emerald, but it's the same mold, just a different color. Sonic, same thing. Tails, same thing. So this is the first new accessory. It's fun to mess around with. I have to admit, it's really fun. But it can go either way. If you really care about the accessories, go ahead and go for it. But if you're buying it for the figure, again, this is probably only my figure. I know some other people that have a better Wave 3 Eggman than their Wave 1. So again, it could really go either way. So yeah. So all around, Wave 3 is a really good wave. Mighty is a whole new figure and starts the classic line of Sonic figures in the Jakks line. His monitor is really nice. Again, it's new and it's different. Super Sonic is the best figure in Wave 3 in my opinion. And he comes with a lame accessory, but hey, you get an awesome figure. Sonic, I've already explained way too much about him. He's just better. And this is his purple Chaos Emerald, which is nice. And here's the trash re-release Dr. Eggman. Again, I've already went on too much. And his checkpoint is really nice. Now let's go on to the next and final wave so far. The first and personally best figure of Wave 4, Classic Sonic. Yeah, look at this little guy. So good. You can turn his head up sideways. His arms, well, okay. Let's compare him to Mighty real quick. I know we didn't get much to Classic Sonic already, but let's look at him. While they scale really well, I have to admit, look how skinny his arms are. And then look at Mighty's. It's a weird difference to see. Like Mighty has thicker arms, but for classic Sonic, you could tell it's Wave 1 Sonic's arms and hands. Which, again, is fine. I'm not complaining. The figure is still amazing. Shoes are on point. Its head is good. I have to admit, at first, I did find this a little weird. Considering that his muzzle does not do that. But again, if you don't look at it from that, it looks great. His teeth, weird inclusion, I'll have to admit. I don't even know what that's supposed to be. His tongue, his open mouth-ish. Again, I don't mind. It's the best figure in Wave 4, for sure. And, yeah, there's, again, not much to talk about. This is an amazing classic Sonic figure. It's almost perfect. Okay, not almost perfect, but, again, he's really my favorite personal in the Wave. If you compare him to Sonic, you can tell they don't scale well. Actually, they do, because they're apparently the same size, but, you know, Generation said, F that, and, yeah, he's supposed to be smaller, but, you know. It doesn't scale well with the other modern figures. Or he does, you know, you can make your own point. But, yeah, Classic Sonic is an amazing figure, and his accessory. A red spring. A red classic spring, to be exact. It's the first spring in the Wave. Yeah. It's an amazing figure. And I definitely recommend picking him up. And he looks great with Mighty. Next in the Wave is Super Shadow. This is our I think this is our first Super Shadow merch in a good couple years. Because I know for a fact Tomy did not do anything with the Super Shadow. And that Jazzwares had a Super Shadow figure. 2 of them. But yeah, this is the first Super Shadow figure in a couple years. And what do I have to say? I mean, it's really good. I have to admit, it's literally Wave 1 Shadow. And that's nice. His joints are a lot nicer. So, yeah. Again, it could only apply to mine. I don't know. He's a really nice figure. Although, there are some problems I have with it. Considering, okay. So you remember how Shadow had his nice gold inhibitor rings, right? Yeah, so Jakks in Wave 4 said, forget that. Super Shadow does not need it. And look at that. Yellow inhibitor rings. Not metallic. Yellow. Yeah. It's... Okay. I'm honestly not a big fan of that decision. But... Again, it's fine. Totally fine. In my opinion. While it does suck. Again, it's nice. The figure. I can ignore that. But another thing is that what made Super Sonic great is that his head sculpt was different. He was angrier. You can tell it's Super Sonic. With Shadow, it's just a repainted Shadow. If they wanted to make this a better figure, to be honest, they should have just given him Wave 3 of the Bendy figure's face. As you could tell, he's a lot madder, and it would fit a lot better with Super Shadow, but no. Just give him the stock standard face. And his yellow, as you could tell, he's the same yellow as Super Sonic, which, to some people, it looks fine. But again, Super Shadow is supposed to be a much lighter yellow than this. It is a bit lighter, but you can barely tell the difference. Barely. You have to just look really closely to tell the difference in yellow. So yeah, Super Shadow, while a cool figure, it could definitely be better in some places. Not as cool as Super Sonic, but it's still a nice figure. And his accessory, almost forgot, is the red cast armor. It's nice. I feel like it should have been a little darker, but again, it's nice. Not much to say. It's the same accessory as Wave 3 and Wave 2. Just a different color. So next up is Tails. Yep, another Tails figure. The big difference, of course, now is its tails. Now they're in a spinning position. And this is Wave 2/Wave 1's Tails figure. As you can tell. Yeah. The Wave 1/2 Tails' tails have a lot meatier tails. You could tell they're huge. But these are just puny, as you can tell. These are weirdly puny. But besides that, again, it's another Tails figure. It's the same. It's literally the same. Not a hand there's no hand differences. There's no face differences. I guess, okay. I guess the eye paint is a little better. He's looking up, and I guess that's it. There's not much to talk about here. And I guess he'll work well with Wave 2 Sonic, considering that both of the figures are the same figure, but with differences enough to buy them. Not a different face, but he'll work well with Wave 2 Sonic. And the accessory for this guy, another Star Spring. This is our first reused accessory, if I'm correct. Unlike the Chaos Emeralds and the item boxes, this is the exact same accessory. Okay, no, never mind. It's the second, because I remember the 10 ring, but unlike the 10 ring, there's not much different. Well, there's not much different with the 10 ring anyway, but the only difference here is that its yellow line is a lot thicker. That's it. That's literally what they did with the 10 ring. Just give it an outline and that's it. Not much of a spring either. Again, it's debatable whether you should get this or not, because new tails, I guess that's worth it, but at the same time, you get no new accessory, and you get the same tails figure. So again, that's people's choice. And the last figure of this video and the wave is a re-release of Knuckles. Nothing different. It's literally a re-release of Knuckles. So you could put these two side by side. Yeah. As you can tell, the head tilted is definitely not much improved. They didn't fix on that. The hands, well, it's just hands. There's nothing different about those. His legs and his shoes specifically, they're better painted. Okay, I'll admit that. Comparing that to Wave 2 Knuckles, that you can see like there's a little spot right there that a little gray is gone on. That's gone in Wave 4's Knuckles. Again, there's not much to talk about. It's literally just a re-release. It's a complete re-release. But we're not talking about him anymore. It's all about this. And it's just a blue Chaos Emerald. You've been talking about 3 of them in this video. This is an amazing Chaos Emerald. Look at that. That's an amazing blue. This is a perfect blue. Look at that. Is this the best emerald? Yes, sir. This is the best emerald in the set. This is the best emerald in... Yeah, just the emerald, sure. But it's a nice emerald. I'm spending more time talking about the emerald than the figure. And that says a lot. Again, is it worth it? Of course. Of course. This blue emerald is worth everything. Here's every figure in Wave 4. Classic Sonic is obviously the best one, being the best looking figure in the wave, and being a really great figure all around. With Spring being its second best accessory. Super Shadow having some problems, but I have to admit, it's an alright figure. It works good for Super Shadow, but again, there could be some problems that I can fix. And it's Red Chaos Emerald. Tails, with its new really difference being its tails, I feel like if you've seen the Wave 2.5 inch tails, Wave 3, yeah, I think it'll work a lot better with those tails, but again, it's a good figure. And it's a re-release of Starspring and Knuckles. Again, the worst re-release, but the best accessory ever, the Blue Chaos Emerald. So here are all the Jakks Pacific 4-inch figures so far. Again, Wave 1 is a great start. Although articulation and all that have problems. Wave 2 is a step up with character selection, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Tails Sonic. Wave 3 being a great wave, except for Eggman, and Wave 4 being another great wave, with Knuckles being the most disappointing. Again, this is a great set of figures so far. They only cost 10 each, so it should run you about $160 if I'm correct. I'm too lazy to do math right now, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that much. And I definitely recommend these if you don't have any Sonic figures but really want to start getting into collecting. These are a great way to get into collecting. And all the accessories right here. As you can tell, they are not with the 4-inch figures because we're going to use these for another video. That is, what is it? I don't know. It's the 2.5-inch figures, okay? All right, we'll see you next video. Goodbye.